Shalom, come on in, family. Book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 36, verse 24. He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession, a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest. This was a wife, a Isha, a Gune's entire design. She was created from the very beginning to be a helpmate unto her spouse and a pillar of rest. This passage of scripture emphasizes that a good wife, a good Isha, a good Gune, provides an essential foundation of tranquility and emotional release for her husband. The phrase, a pillar of rest, refers to a deep, unshakable peace and security a devoted spouse brings into a chaotic world, while the literal text translates to a pillar of rest or support. The concept inherently implies a release from anxiety, isolation, and restlessness. This is where the Eastern philosophy gets the whole yin and yang principle from, negative and positive. One is a receptacle which receives, and the other one is positive, which charges. One cannot operate without another. So a wife has a receptacle. She is a release unto her husband. And when he becomes one with his Isha, his wife, his Gune, she releases and he charges her. One cannot operate without the other. You see, we need one another. A wife's total reason for her being created was to be a helpmate unto her husband. 1 Corinthians 7, verse 1. Now concerning the things whereof ye wrote unto me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband. Let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence, and likewise also the wife unto the husband. The wife, the Gune, the Isha, have not power of her own body, but the husband, and likewise also the husband have not power of his own body, but the wife. Defraud, listen, wives, Ishas, Gunes, ladies, defraud ye not one another, except it be with consent, for a time, that ye may give yourselves to fasting and palau, and come together again, that Satan tempt you not for your inconsistency. That was your whole duty. You were created to be a helpmate, a pillar of rest, a release unto your husband. Pay attention to this. Mother-in-law understands the assignment. You wouldn't believe how often those things happen. According to Harvard Medical, a healthy male produces 1,500 seed per second. That's up to 300 million seed every day a healthy male produces. And according to Harvard Medical, a healthy male, to reduce their chances of prostate, you see it there on the screen, should release themselves up to 21 times per month. Look at what it says. A large Harvard study found that men who released 21 times per month or more had a significantly lower risk of prostate, you see it there, compared to men who only release 4 to 7 times per month. Healthy males produce up to 300 million seed every day of their life, 1,500 seed per second. A wife, a Isha, a Gune's whole duty was to be a helpmate unto her husband and a pillar of rest. Make your home so welcoming and inviting that your husband wouldn't want to be anywhere else but with you. You are a pillar of rest and release unto your husband, which he produces 300 million seed per month. And it's sad to say, out of ignorance, but I don't hold back or bite my tongue. Most wives try to control their husbands through the bedroom as it's a punishment or reward system. And according to Yahuwah Elohim, that is outright sinful and wrong. But what most wives do not know, because the truth about biblical marriage is not taught in church, is this. Pay attention. In the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 7 verse 2, where it says, let every woman have her own idios husband, that word idios is communal, meaning shared. Just as Jacob's 4 wives shared him, that word in 1 Corinthians chapter 7 verse 2, using a interlinear Bible, is idios. It's the same word found in the book of Matthew chapter 9 verse 1, where it says, and Yahushua came to his own idios city. So you can't control your husband through the bedroom as if it's a punishment and reward system, because even in the New Testament, if you are willing to deliberately deny your husband, I'm not talking about if it's because of some type of ailment or sickness. That's something totally different. I'm talking about to the women who totally try to punish and control their husbands through the bedroom. 1 Corinthians 7:2, the word for the wives is idios, meaning while your husband may be shared by more than one wife, you could never be shared by more than one man. I have a full lesson on YouTube pertaining to this. Let's continue. Ladies, I have something else to share with you. Pay attention. So while a healthy male produces 1,500 seed per second, up to 300 million seed per month, and according to Harvard, a healthy male should have a release of 21 times per month to reduce his chances. Did you know that according to Google, that females are born with all immature eggs they will ever have, and no egg cell are produced during their lifetime. The egg supplies goes through natural lifelong decline. Before birth, a female fetus has up to 6 to 7 million eggs at the peak of development. At birth, that number steadily drops, leaving, you see it there, leaving the baby with about 1 to 2 million eggs. At puberty, by the time you see it there, has her first cycle, she has about 300 to 400,000 eggs left. And look at this. I have children older than this. And at the age 30, 90% of the egg supply has been depleted, leaving only 10%. So you think about this. A young woman that's only 30 years old only has 10% of her egg supply left, while a healthy male produces 1,500 seed per second, up to 300 million seed per day. Wives, Ishas, ladies, Gunes, you were created to be his pillar of rest. That's why the scripture says a man would rather live on the housetop with a what? A lion, a adder, and a dragon, than to live inside of a house with a contentious woman. That's why it states a Proverbs 31 woman is hard to find Who can find her? For her price is far above rubies. And if you really are a Proverbs 31 woman, then salute. Much respect to you. I just came on today to bring a little short lesson. Much love and respect to all of humanity, especially to the Proverbs 31 women and to the ox and the coatees out there. Until next time, much love and respect. Like, share, and subscribe. Shalom.